Hello, welcome to my channel. Every day we are learning something new, no matter how small. So for most of us, these bits and pieces of information that we read, listen, and watch every day are somehow currently stored in our brains. Among the media that we consume, some are things which we found interesting and useful and would like to keep for future references. But are you able to remember all the content? Also, how much of the content can you actually remember? So early this year, my boyfriend actually introduced me to Zettelkasten. This is a German term that translates to a sleep box. Zettelkasten is a system of note-taking and personal knowledge management used in research and study. To learn more about this, we read the book titled How to Take Smart Notes. Research in the book states that we can only hold up to a maximum of 4 things in our mind at the same time. This open task on our mind clog up the mind's short-term memory, thus making you distracted as you cannot stop thinking about your unfinished task. This is like opening too many tabs on a browser and causing your laptop to slow down due to the limited RAM space. In other words, our brains are meant for thinking and not for storing. So in this video, I will share with you how my boyfriend and I implemented Zettelkasten in ClickUp and how you can do the same. So this is a video version of my Medium article titled Building a Knowledge Base in ClickUp. If you prefer reading, you may find the link to the Medium article in the description box below. As usual, before we go on, it's important to note that I'm just an ordinary user of ClickUp. I'm not an employee of ClickUp, neither am I sponsored by ClickUp. My intention is simply to share with you how I use ClickUp in my everyday life. Every user have an affiliated link, so if you would like to sign up, you can find my affiliated link in the description box below. And now, let's start. So the knowledge base is at the space level in ClickUp, titled as Zettelkasten, with two lists named as Zettelkasten and references. So first, the reference list. So this list should contain all the notes you take from a particular book, podcast, video, etc. This note should only contain the notes which interest you only. For example, both my boyfriend and I read how to take smart notes and we discussed the learning points too. We realized that we pick up some similar and completely different learning points from the book. Hence, these reference notes, also known as the literature notes, are personal to you. Because due to our different experiences, we find different parts of the original content interesting. Always remember to use your own words when writing these notes. Next, the Zettelkasten list. This list contains even shorter notes. In the case of a physical Zettelkasten, it should only fit one page. While in the case of a digital Zettelkasten, no scrolling should be allowed. So instead of the usual way of grouping notes by topics, in Zettelkasten, we actually group them by context. In other words, when sorting the notes, we need to think of how and where do we want to stumble upon the same note again. So in the case of ClickUp, we shall use the tag click apps to indicate the context. On my screen, I have a note Zettelkasten because it explains the entire concept of Zettelkasten. Underneath it, I have applying Zettelkasten/smart notes in ClickUp. So the second note here specifically relates Zettelkasten with ClickUp features, yet both notes are tagged under note-taking. So if I would like to create a content that related to note-taking, I can pull up these two notes and construct my article from there. At the same time, underneath the source column, it links to the reference or literature notes in the reference list. So if I require more content, I can pull up more literature notes to aid in my content creation. So now let's move on to the next part of the video. How do we actually use Zettelkasten system? Step 1. Whenever you see interesting content, make fleeting notes if you are busy with something else. If not, write proper notes. Fleeting notes are there to help you to capture the ideas quickly. In ClickUp, we can add these fleeting notes as reminders in our inbox. So a pro tip would be click on R on your keyboard and the reminder feature will pop up. Step 2. Process the new proper notes or fleeting notes by putting the notes in the reference list and think about how they relate to the existing notes. This is very important to turn your fleeting notes into proper notes within a day or two, else you might most probably forgot what they meant. And when you forget what the fleeting note meant, this means that they are no longer effective. Step 3. Add new notes, if any, arising from step 2 into permanent notes and add them into the Zettelkasten list. When adding in permanent notes, take note of the 3 following points. So the first point is we have to add a note to the slip box or Zettelkasten list, either behind the note you directly refer to, or if you do not follow up on any specific note, just behind the last note in the slip box. Remember to number it consecutively. So in ClickUp, we have set up an index column for you to number your notes. Second point, make sure that all the permanent notes have an index. And the third point, add links to the other notes to your new notes. So in ClickUp, we can use this relationship feature. So make sure that your relationship ClickUp in ClickUp is currently enabled. We can either link the notes in the reference to the Zettelkasten list, or we can link the notes among themselves in the reference list and in the Zettelkasten list respectively. As you keep repeating this process, slowly you will find yourself developing topics, research, and ideas from bottom up. And with this second brain, which is the hot topic by the way, you can now easily see what is missing and what else you need to research on. So after having some ideas, you can copy the notes into a writing editor or ClickUp Docs and bring all your notes in order. If there are still any missing gaps, you can always go back and do more research. All in all, you have to be daring enough to do the first rough draft, and you can always proofread afterwards. So take the first step today. The link to this template is found in my description box below. So guys, before we end this video, I'm kind of curious, currently how do you store all the things that interest you? Do you use like a physical notebook, or like you store in some, I don't know, Word document? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's all I have for today. If you want more content like this one, be sure to follow and subscribe to me on Medium, YouTube, and Instagram. The links to those are found in the description box below. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button before you go. See you!